3:34, it's Talk Erie and the Joel Natale Show, live from our Kingdom Financial Group studio here. Also live on YouTube and Facebook, as I have Senator Dave McCormick on the line with me. He is calling in from Point South. Senator McCormick, appreciate you joining us.
Hey, great to be with you, Joel. How you doing?
I'm doing well. It was great to be at your Defense and Innovation Summit, and I want to dive in because there are some serious developments there. But today, the news of the day, everybody's talking about Dr. Anthony Fauci's testimony in front of the Senate. You're a member of these Senate committees. How much of this is performance, and how much can you actually get down to real fact-finding and moving the needle forward on any kind of issue in a Senate committee?
Well, I mean, I think this is a real exception in my experience. I mean, I've been in the Senate 18 months, and I've never seen anything like that. You have a guy here who was responsible for orchestrating the COVID response, and he took the fifth 100 times. And what's ironic about that is he's been pardoned. He's been pardoned by President Biden, so he doesn't have any risk, doesn't have any legal jeopardy. And I think the American people, rightly, this isn't a political issue, they rightly want to understand what happened, where we failed, what did we learn, how do we make sure that this horrible impact of COVID, where we lost so many lives needlessly, where we shut down our economy, with what we thought was well-considered medical advice, and it turns out a lot of that advice was not well-considered and really a terrible mistake. So I think it was a real shame and a disgrace that he wouldn't come forward and acknowledge there were some mistakes and apologize to the American people and speak truth about something that we still don't really understand the origins of. The idea that he would have denied that there was any connection between the lab in Wuhan and the COVID virus, in retrospect, seems inconceivable. Yeah. And he held to that. So I think it's a sad day, and I think to the credit of those that were asking him tough questions, Rand Paul, I think, did an extraordinary job chairing the hearing. Bernie Moreno from Ohio asked tough questions. I mean, that is not the norm. That is the exception, and it was a real tragedy.
All right, let's pivot to Carlisle, the Army War College, the Defense and Innovation Summit. I tell you what, I've been to two of these events now. You really know how to put on a party with some of the best and brightest from across the country and some really from around the world. And you really got some work done there.
Yeah, we really did. This is, you sort of think when you get elected, what do I want to do? What do I want to be known for? And the thing I want to be known for is someone who brings opportunity to Pennsylvania, creates jobs for Pennsylvania, helps Pennsylvanians live the American dream. And so, as you know, Joel, we did a summit in July of last year where we had energy and innovation was the focus, and we had all the energy CEOs, and we had the big hyperscalers that are building the data centers, and we had the leaders of the trades. We had university presidents, and we had the president of the United States, of course, his cabinet, Governor Shapiro, and Senator Fetterman.
Yes.
And that yielded $90 billion of investment, just a huge job growth for Pennsylvania. And so I said to myself, what's another big area of opportunity for Pennsylvania beyond energy? And the answer, of course, is defense. Yeah. You know, the world's getting more dangerous. The nature of war is changing. The defense budget's going up. This is an area where America needs to lead. And my premise was that Pennsylvania can be the leader for America of their defense renovation and rebuilding the industrial base. Pennsylvania has 190,000 defense workers in the national security already, and I hope that can grow by a lot. And so we did the same thing at the War College. We had the president come. You saw the cabinet, Secretary of Defense, all the generals, chairman of the Joint Chiefs. And we also had every major defense CEO. We had 1,300 people, Joel. We had 600 C-level executives, 500 companies, most of them from Pennsylvania. And it was huge because we focused on new ways of doing business and new entrants that need to be part of our defense ecosystem, particularly for things like drones and autonomous vehicles, robots. Pennsylvania should be at the lead of all of that. And as you saw there, we announced 5,000 new jobs, $10 billion of new investment in places like the Philadelphia shipyard and up in northeastern Pennsylvania, up where ammunition's built in Scranton.
Yeah.
This is a huge thing for Pennsylvania, and so I was really proud of it. And I keep saying, and I really believe this, winning for Pennsylvania America, it's a team sport. We got to have all the right people at the table. It's not partisan. We got to have Republicans, got to have Democrats, got to have business leaders. And that's what these summits are doing. They're bringing focus to Pennsylvania. Last thing, Joel, there was 125, 130 media people there telling Pennsylvania's story to the country, and that's what it's all about.
No doubt, no doubt. Let's talk about shipbuilding here. And, of course, you mentioned the Philadelphia shipyards. The goal is to get Philadelphia to get at a level much like what is it, South Korea is at as far as the number of ships being built. Can you explain that? And then we'll talk about Erie in a second. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we have made a horrible decision over the past decades where we have less than 1% of global shipbuilding in America. Less than 1%, Joel. We're the biggest economy in the world. All the shipbuilding is offshore, so we can't build Navy ships. We can't build LNG carriers. It's a mess. And Pennsylvania needs to be at the beginning or the forefront of rebuilding that industry. And so Philadelphia Shipyard is huge. Hanwha, which is a Korean firm, bought it. They invested $5 billion, or they're investing it now. We're going from one ship a year to 20, 5,000 new jobs. These are great jobs. There's been a number of ongoing discussions about Erie and the Don John shipyard there, which I have visited. And, Erie should also be a part of the future. And, we'll see. There's a lot of focus. My team's been up there, met with a number of different parts of the community. It's a very special port. It's a great port on the Great Lakes. The Great Lakes, of course, you can have access to the Atlantic. There's all sorts of potential work as we rebuild shipbuilding in America that could potentially happen in Erie. So I'm hoping that, someday in the not too distant future, we'll be able to have a announcement of further investment there.
It was pretty cool that the Korean firm, Hanwha, was literally right next to our Choose Erie build boats faster booth. They were right next to each other, and of course around the corner is like General Dynamics. It was a pretty heady scene there at the War College.
It really was. It was great, and what the point I'm trying to make, and I think the summit at the War College did this. This is a little bit like World War II, when America came together, freedom's forged, industry, government, leaders came together and said, we need to win this war with the arsenal of democracy, which the center of which was in Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh and Erie and Philadelphia.
Yeah, the Jeep was made in Western PA. It's crazy when you think about that,
Crazy. And right now we're in a different battle. We're in battle for the leadership in the world. China is on our heels. This AI revolution is changing the nature of warfare. We need to come together to lead the world. Pennsylvania needs to be at the center of that. All it takes is leadership and bringing the right people together. So, listen, we got so much work to do, but I thought that summit at Carlisle was a good signal of where we can be and what we can do, and I hope you left there with a sense of optimism.
For sure. I've got Senator Dave McCormick on the line here on Talk Erie. I want to ask you about reindustrialization, because I really think that the key here, and we've talked about this before, is the workforce, making sure that we have the folks that have the advanced manufacturing skills to be successful and meet those outcomes. What do you think?
No doubt about it. And listen, we're having a revolution, and everybody thinks AI, it's all about technology, and it's going to be about, who has the fastest model and things like that. Of course, that's a big part of it. But what's remarkable about the AI revolution it's most dependent on people who build things. And the reason that's the case is you can't have AI leadership without compute power. Mm-hmm. And you can't have compute power without infrastructure in data centers, among other things. But you can't have that without energy infrastructure. So this is unique for Pennsylvania because we have such bountiful energy. We're the fourth largest natural gas reserves in the world. We have a huge nuclear power installed base. We have coal. We have solar. All of that's necessary for powering the AI revolution. And that requires people who build things, welders and steam fitters and pipe fitters and electricians. You know, you talk to any manufacturing company, you talk to any of the trades, and they'll tell you we can't hire enough people. We have more demand than people, and that's a good problem to have as long as we fill it. So we need to expand skilled worker training. We need to double down on the apprenticeship programs. We need to get these Pell Grants. You know, we passed legislation in the Working Families Tax Cut Act to expand Pell Grants. Yeah. We need to have partnerships between industry and the community colleges to build out these skilled. You know, these jobs. If you're a 20-year-old, 21-year-old, in a matter of a year or two, you can be making more than $100,000 a year. In some of these places, with overtime, you can be making $200,000 a year, Joel. These are great paying jobs, and once you get that skill, you know, you're in demand. So I'm sure AI is going to be disruptive to some jobs. I'm not saying it's going to be perfect, but the thing that's true for now, and I think for as far as the eye can see, is we're going to need skilled labor that can build things, and that's where Pennsylvania is really uniquely well positioned.
We're also deep in the actual armaments, industry, and I want you to comment on some of this leaking going on about the Iran war, where where maybe top officials encouraged the president to pull back on some of the attacks because of a shortage of weapons. What is your thoughts on all that, Senator McCormick?
Well, I think two things are true at the same time. The first thing is we have plenty of weaponry. We have plenty of munitions to do the job in Iran. So I don't think the reporting that we can't do what we need to do militarily in Iran because we don't have adequate weapons is I don't think that's true. We made all sorts of adjustments to be able to make sure the weaponry we're using is appropriate for the mission, and we've got enormous stockpiles. So that's false. What is true, and I think we're learning, is we need to double down on our capability to manufacture munitions, drones, all the kind of weaponry we're seeing, because we don't just have Iran. We have a conflict with Russia and Ukraine. We have the China on the rise. So for America to be the leading superpower in the world, we need to have a military that's able to build things. Let me give you one example of this. It's drones. Mm-hmm. So Iran and Ukraine have figured out how to build drones at an enormously fast pace. President Zelensky was here yesterday. I was in a meeting with him, and he told us that they're building 10,000 drones a day. Wow. In Ukraine. We don't have that capacity. They did 3.5 million drones in Ukraine last year. So some of these attacks have 1,000 drones in an attack. So we need to have the capability to manufacture drones at scale. And we don't have that today. So our current munitions are adequate, but we need to rebuild our defense industrial base so we can have ships, as I said, submarines, so we can have anti-missile defense, and so we can have the kind of drone capacity that's going to be sustainable into the future. Yeah, well, again, all supporting the war fighter for sure. We're going to let you go there, Senator Dave McCormick. Again, we have the DNA here in Western Pennsylvania to play in this realm, don't we? And we just gotta ramp it up. We sure do, Joel. And Erie should be a big part of the future. Northwest Pennsylvania to be a huge part of that future. Beautiful. Thank you. Good to talk to you. Great to talk to you. Appreciate it, sir. Bye-bye. We going on here at 3:49 to be exact. It's Talk Erie.